Welcome to Fantasy Baseball, Baseball, Baseball. I'm Dan O'Day along with Steve Romano. Hey, Steve.
How's it going, Dan?
It's going okay. Let's talk about the Field of Dreams head to head Yahoo League that we're in. The best head to head league out there because we had some early going and we had some interesting things. Let's talk about last week's matchups.
Yeah, let's run down through the things of week three. See what
Week
happened.
week three. I've got in my order. I don't know if the orders are the same for you where you're looking, but I beat Creek Expos 5-4. Stony Sliders. IP
Yeah,
Tigers beat Baltimore Chop 6-2. The matchup
nice
of the
showing.
week. The matchup of the week, which is really interesting. I didn't know they did this. Was Momo beat SoCal Stat Stuffers 6-4. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta Braves beat the Bellingham Bells 6-4. Two Stuff for Summer 5-3 over the Taters. Raptor beat Lumber Company 5-4, and Humboldt Crabs beat the Mighty Lollygaggers 6-3. So no sevens, no big wins. I guess 6-2 is pretty big with a couple ties. How was your matchup? I just noticed you're in last place.
Yep, my team has been not good, underperforming all over. And as I mentioned in the first podcast, I was happy with my draft. Felt really good about it, but we'll see. We will see. I got close a couple times. I lost my matchup to Juiced Up for Summer, who's in first. Um, So that was a nice first last matchup. I like it. But I pulled the 5-4 at one point, and it looked like I had a chance to make it 4-4, but then it didn't. So
Didn't happen. Yeah, I the short week I was 5-4, but last week I was 2-8. Horrible. They just really hurt. And you have a couple 2-8s early on, you're already far back. you know.
yeah,
So I
trust
was
me, I
really
know.
I was really happy to pull out a 5-4 this past week. But I right now my team is struggling also. I don't know if my team's good enough. So hopefully I can make some moves along the way. Any other matchups that you found this is interesting? Matchup
No,
of the week. Do you see that on your end where you're looking at? They have it all
no, I don't
separated.
see that
Oh
here.
wow, I'm looking on the app and it says matchup of the week. So that's really interesting. Um,
Just looking at first place, Juiced Up for Summer, right? That's who's in first, I
that
believe.
is
Yeah,
correct. Juiced up for summer and first.
they their their 3 weeks so far have been 7-3, 8-2, 5-3.
Wow. Even their
They're the
five was
team.
a strong three, 5-3 with two
Yeah,
ties. Nice.
yeah, and they're the team who beat you 8-2 last week.
I know about that. I remember it. I do remember it.
So as you're
yeah,
saying,
they're
and
good,
then
and no shame at all that that I lost to them because they are so good. That's one of the reasons. But my team really stink right now. Raptors in second, 2 games back, and then Creek Expos, who I'm playing this week, in third, 2.5 games back, and Humboldt Crabs the commission fourth place right now. So it's so early.
Raptors has a 9-1 win under their belt from week
What?
two. Yeah, they beat IP Tigers 9-1,
It's,
but they lost to Creek Expos 4-5 in week
well,
one.
go look at Tigers other weeks because they're at 500 pretty much. So they had some good other
Uh,
weeks if they lost one to
yeah,
nine.
IP Tigers had a 7-3 win, a 1-9 loss, and then a 6-2 win.
Nice. See, very good. Bad week that one week. Wow.
Yeah, I mean
Well,
everybody, everyone's got some ups and downs except the team in first so far.
so far and so early, still anything can happen. Even you and Lumber Company tied at last place. It's so early, anything can happen. Any interesting moves stick out to you in the early going? Because Steve, you make these moves, and I was discussing with you in the other podcast about you got to have the patience to keep people who eventually will perform. And in the head-to-head format, it's even more difficult to have that patience.
Oh, It's super hard. The rosters are small. There's not a lot of bench spaces. And when you see somebody having a good game or two and you want to make a move, it's really hard to decide who to cut. And that's just for the hitters, because the pitchers is a whole nother ball game, because you're just trying to accumulate innings, and it's much more like pick up and drop active. Yeah, you can make the wrong choice very easily, very easily.
Yeah, very easily. And the people who do it every year, they're going to do it again, but you got to wait. And then you got young guys like I think I had him at drop down. I saw he was picked up by somebody else. Caglione. He's a guy I'm really high on, and he's about 260, but with no homers, and he's just not putting it together yet. But if I in a roto league with a deep bench, I would just put him on the end of the bench, like I am in our big money league. This league, I dropped him because I'm like I need stats.
Yeah, you do. You need raw stats. It's not about balancing out a season total out of the position slot. It's about getting as many raw stats on a weekly basis as possible. So you don't really, you can't really hold someone around for upside. That's a waste of a roster spot.
It's a waste of roster spot, and in head to head league all the time. Every year, I'm dropping somebody later on. I'm like, boy, I should have kept that guy. Let's look at some of these pickups and drops real quick in the past week. Starting April 6th or 7th, whatever you want. Anything stick out to
Let's
you?
let's see. I mean, over the starting on the 8th, because I don't see a 7th, right? Oh
Sure.
no, there's a bunch of, here we
There's
go.
a
There's a
bunch
bunch
of
of seven. Here
seven.
we
Oh
go.
yeah.
Here we go. 7th it is then. Oh, Adolis Garcia picked up. I'm kind of shocked he was out there.
Yep. And
Um,
then the next one that in the Roto League you discussed and asked, why did you drop this guy? Somebody in the head-to-head league dropped him also. Liam Hicks was dropped
yeah,
by
but
the.
in a one catcher league, there's no
Yes.
need to have
It's a totally different
right.
scenario. Absolutely. Anyone
And
else? Rumfield has been
no,
playing well.
yeah, Rumfield has been playing well, and then
He was picked
Isbell,
up
the
by the Atlanta
Kansas City
Braves. By the way,
outfielder,
that's a bit. Hold on,
was
sorry to interrupt, but Rumfield was picked up and Carpenter was dropped. A guy with
well. I was just gonna say,
a decent track
yeah,
record.
same. And I was just a couple of above that. Kyle Isbell was picked up, and Matt McLean was dropped. You know,
Whoa!
when those are, I mean, I know one's playing well right now and one is not, but they're both young, unproven, and McLean's got the better upside and track record, doesn't he? Well, maybe
Absolutely.
not the track
McLean
record.
hasn't really ever done it totally, but he's got the talent. He's playing decently well right now. But I think Isbell is a nice pickup, actually. Carl Yastrzemski's nephew, I think it is, was dropped by the Braves.
Yeah. Um, and then
He's
Liam Hicks was picked up with a $3 bid
nice
attached to it
by
by Mr.
Momo.
Awesome's Mojo. Yeah.
Mr. Momo's he dropped Beater, who I pick up later because he's getting saves. Dingler. Listen, this is very interesting. So I pick up Dingler, right? Backup
And
catcher.
dropped Caglione.
I dropped Caglione, as I just was talking about, so it was me. And I have Dingler as my third catcher. At least I went into the season thinking that in my big money roto league. Dingler is having a great season. He's actually really my number one catcher, and he's even out hitting my catcher in this league, which is, the great Goodman, who hasn't really got it going big time yet. So it's just
Yeah,
interesting.
it's hard to spend a lot of roster slots on the catching position in this type of league, right? Because you
Yeah.
don't have as many slots and you just need them for other things. But yeah, if you can get a guy who's getting a lot of at bats out of the catching position and he's playing well, doesn't matter what the track record is. You just got to put him in your lineup.
I picked him up because Goodman got hurt for the Rockies catcher got hurt, so I picked up Dingler. He's playing great. Springs I picked up. He's playing well. Burrows was dropped by Juiced Up for Summer, and I bring that up because he's then later picked up for big money. I think.
Oh, I think he got rocked yesterday, maybe,
Did he?
or today. The Mariners just swept the 4 game series from the Astros. 4 games.
They needed that. Caglione that was then picked up. Shamel, Shamel, Shamizel
Yeah.
was dropped. I don't really see anybody else. Ben Burrows was that's who it was. Burrows was Momo's got for $9.
Mm, I think he got lit up.
And
I
then I
mean, I
picked
know he did. I forget if it was yesterday or today.
so I went the first 3 weeks of the season I had zero guys collecting saves. None.
And now,
I had none. I mean I didn't even have any relievers, like setup guys who might get a save. Well, I picked up Beater. He's I believe with the Nationals, and Kudel with the A's. They both have two or more saves, and they're pitching great. And it seems like they're being put in position to get saves. So I picked up the A's and the Nationals closers, and now I will have saves.
that's pretty wonderful. Yeah, I'm definitely undermanned from the save stat
I had zero. I was
perspective.
punting. I was punting the category, and I was like, I can do this. I have a lot of good start. And then I was like, no, I'm going to try to collect any closer I can find.
Yeah.
It's a category, Steve. There's 10 of them, and you go head to head against somebody, so they're all very important. They're all very important. I'm
They,
telling you.
yeah, it is. I've never been able to fully embrace the punting of a category.
Yeah,
Like
I just tried
I've
it. Me
gone.
neither. I didn't like it. I was like, no, I can't punt. Like Beater, yeah, he sounds great. I'm picking him up. Never heard of the guy. Same the other guy either. Kudell. But I'm looking at their stats like, yeah, they're pitching good. What the heck? They're getting saves. They're putting them in. Okay, I'll take him. So it's
Hey,
so
Michael
early.
Harris.
Yeah. Oh, that was
Michael
yeah.
Harris was
I like
picked up
that.
by Humboldt Crabs, and he's the guy that I drafted and then I cut
Yeah, there's one of those
just
cuts.
because. Yeah, I mean, and I knew that could be a terrible move because he's also a guy where the numbers might not look great, like batting average and ops and whatever, but at the end of the year, like you're saying, he is one of those guys where you're like his counting stats are usually there.
They're
So
usually there at the end of the year. In head to head, it's not as important to have that as much. So you can ride out the month or we think about it. It really isn't. But at the same time, you're making a lot of moves. You'd rather have the guy on your team all year. Just to bring it up, Isbell was dropped and Dominic Smith was picked up because you brought up Isbell earlier. And that was by the Braves. And the Braves also picked up that young guy, Jay Fernandez, who plays first base and shortstop.
yeah, and he's getting a lot of playing time for Arizona
He is.
because they've had some injuries, so they have room for him.
So it's so early right now. How are you looking? Are you confident about your team and your matchup this week, Steve?
Well, I still like my team. I mean, obviously, as we've talked, just when we're talking about baseball, there's so many great players underachieving for a bunch of people right now. I mean, if you're in fantasy, in real life and in fantasy, and it's hard when you look at your team and you're like, oh, well, I really can't give up on these 5 guys, and 3 of them are having horrible starts.
Yeah,
But I do like my team, and I think my matchup this week is off to a terrible start
yeah.
because I'm
You're
facing
behind 1-6
Creek.
right now. Yeah, 6-1. But Creek Expos is
Oh,
a good team so far.
yeah. Although when I just clicked on that matchup, it went. Now I'm only down 3-4.
Oh, see, early in the week,
There you
early in
go.
the season, anything can happen. I love baseball. I like numbers. I like stats. I like this league. This is Field of Dreams head to head league. I'm Dan O'Day. That's Steve Romano. Thanks for listening.
Have a good one.